Hi everyone, welcome to Module 5. I'm going to just talk for a few minutes about our goals for the week. Really, I'm super excited about Module 5, y'all, because we kind of get to take a breath. We're not starting a brand new essay. You're going to be deciding to revise either Essay 1, the rhetorical analysis, or Essay 2, a revision of some writing from your past, and really choosing the piece that you want to revise. There are some instructions for you to look through that really kind of just remind you that you're revising it and it's worth 15% of your grade, 150 points, so double what the original essay was worth. And the thing that I am going to say in this video that I did not put in to writing, but that I will do, is the revision of your essay. If the quality of the essay improves, and let's say you earned a B- on essay 1 or essay 2, and you decide to revise it and it improves to a B+ or an A- or an A, I'll take the percentage of the points out of 150 points that you earn and use that same percentage and put it towards the 75 points for the essay 1 or essay 2 that it was worth when you first turned it in. And so in other words, if you earn, let's say an 88%, because I give you a certain number of points out of 150, I'll put that same 88% in the grade book for the first time you submitted it, in the column that's worth 75 points. I hope that makes sense, the math that I'm doing. I'm just going to give you the same percentage so that the improvement for the revision counts towards 2 assignments, right? It would count towards the midterm revision assignment as well as the Essay 1 and Essay 2 columns where it's worth only 75%. So what you're hearing me say is it's worth your time to really focus on revision this week. And revision, you all, is defined by the type of focus that you have in your writing. It's not editing. That's the thing I want to say first. It is looking at content. It is looking at organization. It is looking at source usage, making sure the sources fit in, connect with one another. So, it's looking at what the essay says in it and not the correctness of the sentences, right? That's what revision is. But definitely you can be doing some editing work this week. So let's go through the weekly schedule just so you can see how all the work for week 5, for module 5, is helping you to prepare for this revision. All right, so first of all, I'm not very far behind with the gradebook. Just a couple of discussion board items need to be graded, so I'll get the gradebook caught up by Thursday of this week. What I'm going to focus on instead, you all, early in the week is Essay 2, for those of you who submitted Essay 2. For those of you who did not submit Essay 2, sorry, you all, I have like something in my eye, so I'm just going to try to wipe it out. It's probably a cat hair. My cats were just in my face a few seconds ago. For those of you who did not submit Essay 2 yet, you have the grace period until July 3rd to get that submitted by the end of the day on Sunday, July 3rd. But if you want to try to submit it earlier in the week, I'll keep an eye out to try to submit those, read those, and evaluate those and get those back to you as quickly as possible. But you do know that even for the midterm revision, you have the grace period deadline of July 10th. For that assignment, even though the midterm revision that's due during Module 5 is due on July 3rd. So just reminding you about the midterm revision and the grace period, y'all, because there are a few folks in class who are a little bit behind, but the grace period there is to help you. And I really think at this point in the semester, if you're a little bit behind, you should be thinking about finding a way to get caught up at this point, because as of Module 8, the grace period is gone. So Module 8, 9, and 10 will not have a grace period deadline in place. It will end at the end of Module 7. So be thinking about that since we're kind of at the middle of the semester and you still have some time to get caught up. All right, so I'm asking you to look at a couple of essays this week to feed your brain with some reading, mostly focus on reflecting on writing and revising. Some of the things I've put in that list of readings have been assigned before, so if you haven't read them, this would be a great time to read through them. There are 2 chapters from a textbook that I've used in classes in my past by a writer and professor named Donald Murray. One focuses on revision to focus better in the essay, so that chapter will help you to think about focusing, creating some unity in your piece. And the other chapter from Donald Murray is on revision to develop. So if you're getting notes from me about, adding more commentary or saying more, adding examples, that might be a good chapter for you to read. I put that Shitty First Drafts essay in there because it does talk about revision and editing. And then I'm going to find one other piece. So I think this handout says that there are, oh, I didn't put a number. Cool. So I don't have to change that. But I think there's going to be like 5 selections there. So I would read something, you all, because at the end of the week when your midterm revision is due, I am going to ask you to answer some questions that will cause you to reflect as the writer, to talk to me about your revisions and your writing. So being in the mindset of reflecting on what can be revised, how revision changes your perspective on your own writing, that kind of thing, is what these essays will help you to think through. So that might be some good stuff to read this week. The MLA quiz for Module 4 is now in Module 5. We didn't do it. I used the rhetorical analysis essays to help me to write the quiz, and I just got it done this morning on Sunday. So it is due by the end of the week. I've designed it to help you with in-text citations and works cited entries. Several of you need some work with that, and so this will be a good review quiz for you to complete that will help you to revise and edit your essay that you're selecting for the midterm revision. A reminder, you all, that the first check-in meeting deadline is coming up. The deadline is, gosh, I think I have the wrong date in here. Sorry. Is July 1st, Friday, because I don't do check-ins on Sundays. By 4 o'clock, which means that the grace period deadline is July 8th. So I've just updated that in the handout, and we'll have to get that uploaded to you. I had the wrong dates in there. So keep in mind that that deadline for check-in meeting 1 is coming up this week, you all. And again, the grace period deadline is there. But that's worth 50 points. So if you don't complete that assignment, you'll get a 0. The check-in meeting can happen in Zoom. I've completed 2 check-in meetings via email, and there's like an audio file tool that we can use in D2L to kind of talk through some things. So the new check-in sign-up sheet is available in Google Sheets, so I would kind of plan early this week to get that scheduled. Review the midterm revision handout, you all. It's available. You can read it first thing if you'd like. You're choosing Essay 1 or Essay 2 and you're revising. You have my feedback from when I evaluated your essay. You have feedback from the workshops if you were a workshop writer before the middle of the semester. And if you need more feedback, I think, again, I'll remind you that a check-in meeting might be great. Another thing you might think about doing at this point in the semester is working with a writing tutor. There is information in D2L about writing tutors at each of the campuses. BCC, Boulder County campus, Larimer campus, and Westminster campus. There's even an online tutor submission form that you could use if you don't want to meet face-to-face. And some of the campuses might be offering Zoom. Not sure about that for all the campuses because I only work at BCC. But check into that if you're interested in working with a tutor this week to get some support with your revision. All right, so day 2 is where most of the work is located, and you have not only the MLA quiz to help you to review in-text citations and works cited entries, but you'll notice there's a journal asking you some questions about what you will revise after looking over Essay 1. And then there's a teach the class about 20 most common errors, and there's actually some focus on punctuation in that collaborative discussion board. So 2 discussion board, 1 journal. You notice the journal on revision awareness is coming to me only, and then the work on the 20 most common errors and punctuation is a collaborative one that everyone can see. So I would really think about focusing on the journals as early in the week as possible, so then you can spend most of your time revising your essay. But those discussion boards, the 1 discussion board and the 1 journal, are there to support your revision work for the week and your editing work for the week as well. I am going to ask you to think about some different punctuation marks this week to start thinking about sentence variety. I didn't do a lot of commenting on punctuation marks in Essay 1, so I'll make sure that I'm focusing on that a little bit more in Essay 2, so when you get Essay 2 back, you might see me saying, hey, why don't you try using some M dashes? I'm saying M-EM space D-A-S-H. It's a long dash. It's usually made up of 2 hyphens that stretch themselves out in Google Docs and in Microsoft Word. If you're not using M dashes, you should think about it. I would also think about semicolons and colons. And there's another punctuation mark in the textbook that is, ellipsis marks, where you put the dots in between 2 parts of your sentences to kind of extend the thought. So think about those different punctuation marks. You want to be able to submit essay writing that is representative of more sophisticated types of sentences that show your knowledge on the different kinds of sentences that you can write and communicate through. And then, day 3 is submitting your revision. So, y'all, I really would think about a check-in meeting early in the week, think about tutors earlier in the week, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm really excited to see what you're able to do with your essays when you revise them, because y'all, listen, true writing, real writing is revision. It's not writing a first draft and just turning it in and having the work done. I mean, it's a relief to get something done and turning it in, but knowing that you have revision on your side, it's a partner to you, right? It's a tool you can use to ensure that you submit the best writing is really what revision is about. And that's why I say revision is writing, because, writing something rough is just the first start, but revision is where you find your true voice and your true power in writing. And so I'm super excited to see what you submit. And let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a good week. It's been a tough, long weekend for many of us. And so hoping you're doing the best that you can, and let me know how I can support you this week in your learning about your writing. Take care and talk to you soon.